Hey everyone, Laura here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the NCLEX Bootcamp. We reviewed the NCLEX prep package a few years ago, but felt it was time to provide a detailed update. So today I'm going to break down how this course generally works, the features you get, talk about cost, and of course, give you my thoughts on whether I think it's worth it. By the way, I just want to mention upfront here that since I'll be sort of limited to just talking about the major highlights in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight NCLEX Bootcamp Review. All right, so I just want to start this video with a quick overview of how NCLEX Bootcamp works. Because to be clear, this course is very different from all of the other NCLEX courses we've taken and reviewed. Before April 2023, the NCLEX was radically different from how it looks today. There were totally different question types and the exam was a different length and style altogether. It's just night and day different. The next-gen NCLEX incorporates both traditional NCLEX style questions and realistic 6-part clinical case studies. It's intended to be a better representation of nursing practice rather than the old NCLEX, and actually has a greater focus on applying clinical judgment instead of just reciting facts. Anyways, let me quickly break down what you get and how the bootcamp courses actually work. So looking at the course from a high level, bootcamp is essentially a group of 3 main study materials: a next-gen strategy course, next-gen cases, and next-gen standalone questions. Let me briefly explain each of those. The next-gen strategy course is a 9-part video series that explains how the next-gen format tests you, gives you tips and strategies for approaching the varying problem types and case studies, and even walks you through a full case study and review. In short, it's a mini course that teaches you how to take the new format on the NCLEX. Then, after that, there's the next-gen cases. So this has been one of the biggest changes to the NCLEX. Rather than straight multiple choice questions like before, every exam administration now gives you 3 case studies with a 6-item answer set. The bootcamp course gives you 50 of these case studies to drill on, and each one has a detailed video breakdown showing you how you should have solved for each of the 6 questions in the case. Then the third and final component of the course are standalone questions, which make up the majority of questions you'll see on test day. Of the minimum 85 questions you'll get on test day, only 18 will be tied to the 3 case studies, and the rest will be standalone questions. And that's exactly what this portion of the course is designed to help you with. It's a big QBank with over 1,900 problems to drill on, and each problem comes with a detailed solution. Now, without any guidance, this 3-part setup on its own would give the course a sort of unstructured feel. However, overarching everything in the course is a study schedule. It's now fully integrated and customizable and gives a day-to-day breakdown of exactly what you need to be completing. But honestly, that's about it. You follow your study schedule and work your way through all of the detailed materials in the course: case studies, cheat sheets, readiness exams, standalone questions, and strategy sessions. And I know that's very high level and that I covered it rather quickly, so if you want to see a more detailed breakdown of exactly how this course plays out, be sure to check the full review I mentioned. I'll have it linked down below in the description, where I have more detailed info over there so you could get a feel for what to expect. All right, let's discuss packages and pricing next. Bootcamp has 3 main membership packages: 1 month, 2 month, and 3 month, respectively. The 1-month membership, priced at around $80, includes a library of over 1,900 NCLEX questions, 50 NGN cases, 4 readiness exams, over 100 cheat sheets, a unique study schedule creator, and access to an AI tutor. With the 2-month and 3-month memberships, priced at roughly $160 and $240, you get all of the aforementioned features from the 1 month, plus the pass guarantee, which is pretty neat. Putting these price tags in perspective, bootcamp is a whole lot cheaper than competitors like Kaplan, Hearst, and UWorld. The standard cost of an NCLEX course today seems to be about $250 to $500. So NCLEX bootcamp is basically half to a quarter of the cost for this most popular 3-month plan. Essentially, bootcamp is still younger than the other prep course providers out there, and they're trying to establish relevance and gain market share with lower price points, which is competitive. Actually, on this point, it's important to note that despite the pretty approachable price point, Bootcamp still frequently runs sales and special promotions, and a lot of times you can find their packages on sale. So be sure to check the description down below before buying. I'll do my best to keep that description down below the video screen updated with the most current discounts out there, and you can maybe save yourself some money if you decide to go with them. From my experience, you can sometimes knock off up to 10% off their packages. Okay, so that's how Bootcamp works and what it costs. Now I'm gonna give you 3 things I like about NCLEX Bootcamp and 3 things I wasn't so crazy about, and that way you have a balanced view. So let's start with the pros first. The first advantage of NCLEX Bootcamp, in my opinion, has to be what I've already talked about. The fact that this course was specifically designed for the next-gen format that's been out for a few years at this point. 100% of the materials in the Bootcamp course apply to next-gen, and they're all solid. For example, the case studies and standalone problems closely mirror all of the different item types and are a great match for the real NCLEX program. Also, it's helpful to note that NCLEX Bootcamp provides a free next-gen NCLEX strategy course with video lessons to introduce the exam format and question types. Next, the second advantage is problem solutions. The problem rationales that Bootcamp has created to go along with their questions are awesome. They're in-depth, written in understandable plain language, and a lot of them contain a bunch of useful visuals. Plus, the video breakdowns are very good as well. The Bootcamp instructors take a very slow and practical approach to explaining how you should solve a particular problem, and it's just easy to understand. Basically, both the written and video problem explanations in the Bootcamp program are very good and get high marks. All right, so my third and final pro is still the Next Gen Strategy course, and I suppose this sort of ties into my first advantage in a way, but the dedicated strategy course Bootcamp has created is legit. It breaks down how the Next Gen testing format works, how it's scored, and most importantly, a bunch of great little tips and tricks for solving case studies and problems, as well as how to avoid falling into trap answers. The fact that it directly addresses how to take the next-gen test and provide a strategy for attacking it is super useful. You don't get this test-taking strategy element with a lot of other courses like Archer, for example. Okay, so that covers what our team likes, and now let's get to the things we didn't necessarily like. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we give away a free prep course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter and everyone is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description. It will take you less than 10 seconds, and hey, you never know, you could win a free NCLEX Bootcamp subscription. All right, so moving on to the negatives, and the first is that there are no live classes or even live office hours for that matter. So everything in the Bootcamp course is on demand and self-paced. Without a fixed class schedule, this generally means that there's nothing really holding you accountable and keeping you organized. The study schedule is intended to provide just that, but it's totally self-driven. So if you're the type of student who struggles to get motivated or stay committed on your own, Bootcamp might not be an ideal fit. So you might need a course with a fixed live class schedule like Kaplan. Second, it's kind of disappointing that there aren't any hard copy prep books or written study materials with this course. All of your written review material comes in the form of the digital problem answer explanations, and that's where you're going to get the bulk of your instruction by reviewing, which is fine. For those learners who like to turn a page, this may pose a challenge. On a positive note though, Bootcamp does provide written cheat sheets to their suite of resources that directly attacks content review, and we think it's a nice supplement to the on-demand platform. But anyway, that about covers the detail in this review, so let's get to my final verdict. And is NCLEX Bootcamp worth it? My answer to that question is, for this affordable cost, yes, without a doubt. Not only is their $80 price point super appealing, but just substantively, this is a great course. Between their realistic practice material, detailed answer explanations, strategy videos, cheat sheets, mock exams, and pass guarantee, we believe NCLEX Bootcamp offers a complete and effective prep course from top to bottom. While I do think there is some room for improvement by adding a couple of the features I talked about earlier, by and large, I think this is an all-around effective prep package. So that's all I've got for you today, folks. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, check out our website and the rest of our YouTube channel for more learning reviews and comparisons. Bye for now.